Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you are all fine and safe. Students, I am your English teacher, and today I am here with your first and second lesson of the week 4, and we are going to work on Oxford Discover workbooks. And as I have already told you earlier, that these workbooks have a lot of interesting vocabulary exercises and comprehensions for you, and I hope you are going to enjoy doing them. Students, we are studying Unit 6 and the name of the unit is You Can Be a Poet. Do you remember? Very good. So now let's just quickly have a recap of what we studied in this unit. In this unit, we learned how to write acrostic poems, cinquain poems and haiku poems. Do you remember all these types of poems? You did? You do? Very good. I love you all. Alright, so before starting today's lesson, let me tell you that by the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the language terms and apply a reading strategy to improve comprehension. Students, when I say identify language terms, I mean that you are going to learn some few terms, and when I say apply a reading strategy to improve comprehension, I mean that you are going to learn how to do comprehensions after applying a reading strategy to the given passage. All right. So now, before starting today's lesson, I have a very small question for you, a small exercise for your little brains. You are going to tell me that which poem uses all the letters of the topic word to describe the topic. Can you all tell me? Alright, just take 2 minutes and think about it. Done? So now let's see that how many of you are correct. An acrostic poem uses all letters of the topic word to describe the topic. The answer to the question is acrostic poem. So how many of you guessed it right? All of you. That's really nice. So are you ready for today's lesson now? Okay, good. Students, now here I am on page number 48 of your workbook and it says Unit 6, get ready. Exercise A, look at the clues, complete the crosswords. As you can see, they have given you about 8 words in a box and they have given you about 8 clues. Three are down and 5 are for a crosswords. You are going to read the clues and identify the word from the box and then write it accordingly in the crossword. Okay, then you have exercise B. Here you are going to look at the pictures which exercise B says circle the correct word. You are going to look at the given pictures and tell whether the first picture is a robin or an angelfish, and then tell whether the second picture is a snowflake or a syllable. Alright, these two exercises are really very easy. Okay, you have to do them very carefully. Now let's discuss page number 49. Exercise C says look and write. Again, they have given you 6 words in a box and they have given you 6 let's say pictures, and they want you to guess what these pictures are showing and pick the word from the box and write them under it. For example, the first word is jump, and we all know that jump is an action word, it's a verb, so that is why they have written verb here. You will do this for the rest of the 6 parts also. Okay, look at the picture, read the words from above and write the correct answer. Then exercise D says circle the correct answer. These are true and false. You are going to circle the correct answers. I will read all the sentences for you. Number 1 says a sentence expresses a complete idea. True or false? Number two, there are 25 letters in an alphabet. Is the alphabet. True or false? Number 3, there are 2 syllables in the word bicycle. True, false? Students, remember I have already told you what are syllables, okay? Number 4, an angelfish is a colorful bird that lives in a tree. True or false? Number 5, a robin lays blue eggs in a nest. True or false? And number 6, no two snowflakes are the same. They are all different. True or false? You are going to do the circles and make sure you are doing it with blue color and very nicely. Then exercise E says fill in the blanks, use the words from the box in C. Now they have already given you 6 words in the box above under the instruction for exercise C. You are going to read the clues given in exercise 4 and fill in the blanks from the words given in the box. For example, the number 1 says bed and red are dash. You are going to write what the words bed and red are. Adjectives, letter, noun, rhyming word, sentence, or verb. What are they? Then second says the words write and read are dash. Number 3, the words big and small are dash. And number 4, an alphabet is made up of dash. Again, these exercises are very easy. They are all related to the words given in the box above on the top of the page. Read the words, read the instructions very carefully, and then solve your exercise. Alright, so students, now here I am on page number 50, which is your comprehension part. It says read. Exercise A says read the story. What happens when the boy falls asleep? You are going to read the story and write the answer. Part B says read the story again. How does the boy describe what he visualizes? Remember, poets choose words carefully to help readers see pictures in their minds. Okay, so we are going to read this text given. It says visualizing nature. When I say visualizing nature, I mean imaginating. When I say visualizing, I mean I'm imaginating, or in my imagination I'm talking about my thoughts. Yesterday afternoon I was watching TV when I fell asleep. While I was sleeping, pictures floated through my mind. Floated means that they came into my mind, okay? I saw a robin with a bright red front. It was hopping on dry, colorful leaves in our yard. In my mind, I visualized the robin joining other robins. The robins are beautiful as they fly through the sky. So, here they are talking about maybe a girl or a boy who says that I was watching TV while I fell asleep, and while I was asleep, I saw a few pictures. I saw a robin. I imagined a robin with a bright red front, and he was hopping on the leaves, and I imagined that the robin was there with other robins also. He joined other robins, and they looked beautiful as they flew in the sky. I'm reading the next paragraph. Then I saw snowflakes dancing in the air. They were big and white. They looked like frozen dancers performing an icy dance. Now the next thing he imagined was about snowflakes, and he's saying that I also saw snowflakes, and I thought they were dancing in the air. They were big and white, and they looked like performers who were dancing on ice, who were performing an icy dance. When I wake up, I decided to write a poem to tell what I saw in my dreams. What word should I use? I asked myself. I will use action verbs to describe the robin flying and hopping. I will use an adjective to describe how the robins looked when they flew all together. And I will use lots of other adjectives to describe the snowflakes, big, white, and frozen. Now he says that when I woke up, I decided that I will write a poem, and I will use verbs to describe what Robin was doing, and I will use adjectives, the describing words, to describe what the snowflakes were looking like. I'm reading the paragraph under the picture. I think about poems I know: acrostic poems, haiku poems, Sinken poems, nature poems, and funny note poems. Some of the poems use rhyming words, others have a specific number of syllables. I ask myself, what kind of poem do I want to write? I sit down on my desk and take out a piece of paper and a pencil, and then I begin to write. Now, here he is thinking that he knew how to write 5 types of poem. Now, he wants to decide that what kind of poem he wants to write. Whether he wants to write an acrostic poem, a haiku poem, a Sinken poem, a poem about nature, or a funny poem. So this was all how he visualized nature. Now he wants to write a poem. He is deciding how he is going to write a poem. Okay, students, you are going to read this text at least 2 times before attempting the comprehension questions. Okay. So now I am on page number 51. Let's read what the questions are. Exercise A. Why does the boy write a poem? What was one thing he visualized? What did he say looked like to him? You are going to read the paragraph. See why the boy wanted to write a poem, what was he visualizing, what was he imagining, and what he thought of that imagination. Then exercise B says answer the questions. Check means mark a tick. More than one answer for some questions. Now they want you to choose from the given options and they are telling you that there can be more than one answer also. I'm going to read all the four sentences to you. Number one, what happens when the boy falls asleep? A. He writes a poem. B. He gets angry. C. He sees pictures in his mind. Or D. He watches TV. Number two, what will he write about? A. Robins, ladybugs, C. Kangaroos, or D. Snowflakes. You can choose more than one answer, remember. 3. What kinds of words will he use? A. Adverbs, B. Verbs, C. Syllables, D. Adjectives. And 4. Which words are rhyming? Fly, B. White, A. Sky, and D. Robin. Always remember that you can choose more than one answer, okay? Then exercise C, words in context. Match word to the definition. They have given you 4 words. You are going to match the words with the definition. The first word is exact, then describe, then observe, and then imagine. Read the words, read the definitions given as ABCD, and then do the matching. Use scales and blue color for the matching, okay? Now let's talk about today's assignment. Students, today's assignment is that you are going to do page 48, 49, 50 and 51 on your workbooks, okay? Now I have some rules for your workbook maintainers which I always tell you. They say that your workbook should be covered and kept in a good condition throughout the term. Very important. Make sure they are covered. Make sure you are not scribbling on them. Make sure you are not spoiling them. Then secondly, do not scribble in your workbooks. When I say scribble, I am mentioning it here again because I don't want you to draw any hearts or write any messages in your workbooks, okay? Thirdly, turn the page politely from the top right corner. Make sure you are turning the page politely from the top right corner and you are not folding it and you are not tearing it while turning the page, okay? Then there are some things which you are going to remember. Write date and day on every page. Very important. Write date and day on every page that you are doing. Underline date and day with blue color. Don't forget to do the underlining. You are not doing it. Make sure you do write them now. Number 3 is use scales wherever required. Wherever required means you are going to use scales when you are matching or when you are underlining the answers. And last but not the least, write in beautiful and neat handwriting. Students, make sure you follow this. You're trying to do your work in neat handwriting, but you are not writing in cursive writing pattern. Make sure you do that, all right? Now let's just quickly have a recap of what we studied in this in these exercises. We studied that a noun is the name of a person, place, animal or a thing. Then they've told you that adjectives are describing words, verbs are action words, and rhyming words are words which have the same or similar ending sound. So these are the 4 language terms that we've learned today: noun, adjectives, verbs and rhyming words. So students, that was all for today. I hope you've understood all the exercises. These are really very easy, and make sure you follow the instructions. Make sure you read the text. Make sure you write in a beautiful handwriting. Until I see you next time, it's me, your English teacher, signing off for today. Allah Hafiz.